just very briefly, I just want to kind of start by a very short anecdote, I guess, from my perspective with technology, because sometimes we get a bit ahead of ourselves. I think I use this line, which is, when we look at technology and new technology, I think we often overestimate its impact in the short term, and we underestimate its impact in the long term. So if I give you one good example of that, we've been talking about driverless vehicles now for probably a decade. In fact, I even remember seeing one of the early driverless vehicles in the Computer Science Museum in Palo Alto, where I was doing a presentation in California. And yet here we are today, 2022. I don't see any driverless vehicles licensed driverless vehicles on our streets at the moment, at least not without a human being co-pilot. I know it's coming, but it's not quite there. And I suppose the current one is the metaverse, because the metaverse has obviously become, a hot topic of conversation in the last few months. And my premise, I guess, on it is, I know it's coming and I know it's relevant. And I know for some brands, it's actually an opportunity today. It is a route to market where you can make money, but clearly it's only really being adopted by very early adopters from a consumer point of view. And it feels like for the majority of people and brands, it's probably a while away, Just out of curiosity, do you agree with that as a premise, John, at a very high level?
Look, I think there's always at the beginning excitement with new technologies. And I think, the reality of a new technology is a great idea and people all weigh into it. It always takes a while for it to get ready for consumers, as it were. And I think, we tried this sort of a similar thing to the metaverse a few years ago with Second Life, right? And every second was supposed to change everything. And it did, but you just ended up dancing around in a circle on a virtual island. So it didn't actually meet expectations. Yeah. But overall, look, there is opportunity here. There's an opportunity for new channels. Some things will work, some things won't work. Will we spend our whole time in virtual environments? If you read Red Dwarf, maybe. But overall, I read a lot of science fiction, so I like to believe this all happens and the world is a different place. I'm an optimist.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think I could disagree with that. So, I guess my premise is it's coming. It's just a matter of, the adoption curve and depending who your customers are, trying to get the timing right in terms of when you invest in it and focus on it. What do you think, Ozzy, in a general sense? Because obviously you've created a number of businesses and you're a technology enabler for brands and providing the ability for them to engage more effectively now with consumers in a number of different contexts. And presumably you've helped a number of them also pivot through the pandemic. So what's your take on technology and what's your high level view of it?
Yes. So my take over technology, I'm very pragmatic when it comes to technology. Okay. And the way I see it, it's more from the consumer side of things. So fundamentally, technologies is just provides tools, okay? Tools to achieve something. And typically achieving something means solving problems. Now, and I think the difference is about the level of awareness and maturity sometimes of the customer. Very often I've seen customers having problems and not being aware of their problem. And instead, the so-called early adopters, sometimes I see them not as customers who are more kind of open to new things, but I think of them as companies, customers who see the problems before others do. So maybe they have an insight, maybe they feel the problem themselves in such a way that others don't, but there is something that gets them to, I think I have a problem, or I'm about to have this problem, and therefore they do something about it. So I see more it as, they see technology as a way to solve problems, and it's all about whether you can see the problem ahead of others.